So Canon kind of stealth released the brand new EOS RP, Canon's new super affordable mirrorless full frame camera for $1,300. And well, it's garbage. Now at this point, you've probably seen a bunch of videos online of other people bashing this camera or being really disappointed in this camera. And I'm gonna here just to reiterate that same stance. So if you're looking for something else, if you're a Canon diehard, you're probably gonna leave angry comments below. So when I initially heard the rumors about this camera a few days ago, I was actually really excited. I was kind of hyped for this camera because $1,300 for full frame, of course it wasn't gonna have the best features out there, but still for full frame, that's crazy. Now personally, I haven't shot Canon for 4 or 5 years now, just because they haven't been innovating. And I was really hoping that this new wave of mirrorless cameras, this new wave of competition for Sony especially, was really gonna make them gear up and start innovating again and making some really good products. But with the release of the EOS R, you could really tell that Canon wasn't really trying. They weren't really stepping up to the plate like Nikon did. It still blows me away that Nikon released a camera that actually has really great video capabilities, and of course it has great still photography because all these cameras have great still photography. Nikon was actually killing it, and they're still killing it. They're gonna give you RAW through HDMI. That's insane. But then we just have Canon, who used to be the kings of everybody, just in the background, not really trying. The only thing that's innovative about the RP is the price. It does not give you Canon's fantastic dual pixel autofocus while you're shooting 4K, and it also gives you a 1.6 times crop. At that point, you might as well just get one of Sony's APS-C cameras that gives you 1.5% crop, and you're getting actually 6K video downsampled to 4K. It's gonna look way better. You're still gonna get amazing autofocus. Honestly, I'm just so disappointed what they did with this camera. They basically took the 6D Mark II, waited a couple years, lowered the price, and made it mirrorless. That's it. They didn't do anything else. Actually, they made it worse because they took away 24 frames a second in 1080p. I mean, fine, your 4K sucks, but at this price, if you have really solid 1080p, that's still a pretty good deal for full frame camera. There's literally no limitation about this camera that says it should not be able to handle 24p at 1080p. That is honestly something they had to go in and be like, hey, let's just not give that to them. This is not give that to them because we don't want to give them features. And that's something that Canon's known to do. They go into their cameras and they hinder, they just take away features just so they don't butcher their top of the line model, just so they can push people to that top of the line model. And that's really disappointing because if you look at companies like Sony or Panasonic, they basically put the same features more or less in all of their cameras. But for some reason, Canon still has a mindset that they have to hinder their products just so they don't butcher or cannibalize their more top of the line models. People are still gonna buy those top of the line models. Professionals are still gonna go and buy those top of the line models. You do not have to take away features from your lower end cameras. Professionals know if they want the best possible quality, they have to go higher up and pay that little extra cash to get that little bit extra quality. Honestly, this is such a letdown because this could have been a big win for Canon. But to not even give people the most popular form of 1080p, that 24 frames a second that everybody loves to shoot at because it gives you a nice cinematic look. At this point, honestly, just buy the competition. The only reason that anyone should pick up the EOS RP is if you're a heavy Canon user, you have a bunch of full frame glass with you already, and you only do still photography. If you're a hybrid shooter, do not look at this camera. It's gonna underperform. It's not gonna go well for you. If you only have a couple full frame lenses for Canon and you've just been primarily on APS-C, I'd say just sell all that crap and move over to Sony. Maybe move over to the Nikon Z6. That's a pretty good option. It gives you great photography, and then the video options are actually really killer at the same time. Now, to be fair, they are marketing this as a family camera. This is the camera dad or mom's gonna pick up to take pictures of their kids or on their vacation or wherever it is. But at $1,300, that's still not a family camera. What family is gonna drop $1,300 on a camera when they have their cell phone? This is way too expensive for them. They just use their cell phone, or at most, they'll probably pick up a $500 to $600 camera. This is more for the entry-level hobbyist who understands the difference between full frame and APS-C, but doesn't know much more than that. I could see Canon selling this to a lot of people that kind of just get tricked by the brand name and the price. This is not gonna be for people who actually know what they're going into and what they're getting. For what you're getting here for full frame, again, unless you have a lot of Canon full frame glass, pick up a Sony APS-C camera. The A6400 just got announced. It's getting released in like a month from this video, and it has way better specs than this. You're getting high quality 4K video, amazing autofocus no matter what you shoot at, good slow motion. Even if you don't care about any of those things, you're getting it for cheaper than this. It's gonna be a 24 megapixel sensor. It's 2 megapixels less than this. It's not full frame, of course, but it's still gonna give you even higher quality images than this thing can, because again, that sensor inside this camera is way outdated. The ISO range of the EOS RP is from 100 to 40,000, whereas on the A6400, it's from 100 to 32,000. That's only a difference of 8,000 ISO, so the actual performance of both these cameras alloy is gonna be extremely similar. And this camera can only give you 5 photos a second without continuous autofocus, whereas Sony gives you, I think, 9 to 11 with continuous autofocus. So if you're really a family photographer, you're trying to take pictures of your kids running around. So if you are an entry-level photographer and you do not have a lot of Canon glass, or you're actually completely new to photography, I would highly suggest getting the A6400. That's a better deal. It's a better performing camera. It has way better specs and features. And it's sad because just a couple of days ago, I made a video of how I was disappointed with the A6400, and now I'm here defending it because Canon screwed up that bad.